Sometimes the friendly skies don't seem so friendly anymore. Not when airport hustle and bustle is replaced by hassle.
All the lines I have to wait in to get to where I'm going.
Security's great, don't get me wrong, but they could be a little more efficient.
But at Lambert's Terminal 2, just before the unavoidable,
You checking?
is a hiatus
How you doing, my brother?
of affable.
My bad. I'm here, man. I'm here.
George Lee is a sky captain, and often the first face people see
Sir, come on down, my man.
when they arrive for their departure.
I need your ID, please.
George by far has to be one of the most amazing men I've ever met.
Give me next, please. Come on down, see me.
Amazing because long after most people have checked out of their full-time jobs,
Where we going, Denver?
George is still helping customers check in.
What is the best thing about your job?
The people and my coworkers. How you doing? What's up? You good? All right.
He's still doing the heavy lifting at age 70, even when the temperatures are below freezing.
Give me next, please. A couple pair of pants on and a long johns, and we stand right here and get it done.
George first took the post 40 years ago, and he needed 2 other jobs just to make a living. And it became tough again after 9/11.
So how has the security changed things?
Oh, it's a bit different. I could check a bag here, take it out to the plane if I had to. Security was a breeze.
But George believes when things get tough, you tough it out.
One thing about it, he come to work every day, on time, and don't want to miss a day.
But recently, George had to miss a few days because of a cancer scare.
I had a polyp on my voice box.
It turns out it wasn't cancer. George says he probably just talks too much.
You all set?
Thanks a lot, George.
Thank you, my man.
He's a great person to talk to, great person to laugh with, and just hang out with.
So how you been, girl?
When and if he does retire, George says he hopes to spend more time with his children and grandchildren. And more time on the dance floor.
Oh, he love to dance. He bop it all day. I think he's the best bopper in town.
You got a name tag on this bag?
Until then, you might want to make George your first stop before your non-stop,
Come on down, man.
because he has a simple motto.
Just smile when they come and give them something friendly to look at.
George Lee,
Thank you. You know I appreciate you. You already know. Thank you.
helping stressed out passengers fly right.
George is a great man.
So this is the gym.
Sifting through the ashes of anguish,
Fire below was sending smoke up through the floor and along the sides.
we're taking a guided tour of a broken heart.
This room is where the fire actually was the worst. You know, it's been really hard to come in and see the damage and to live it every time you walk in.
Jason Iyer is the athletic director and vice principal of Paradise Adventist Academy.
And down here is the shop.
He's also a former student.
A lot of smoke damage.
Few have spent more time here.
They've gutted these
The
classrooms.
school has been closed for almost a year, and the reason becomes clearer just beyond its walls. Where there should be homes, there's just twisted metal and crumbling bricks. Cars that once gleamed now gloom on melted rims. Even the shadows of trees are charred. It's what's left after the nation's deadliest wildfire in nearly a century. That and the stories of survivors.
I woke up and fires were a normal thing for us in Paradise. You know, California is very dry, so we're used to it.
17-year-old Stacy Weisner plays on the Paradise Girls volleyball team.
There you go, yes.
We're really just a group of friends playing volleyball together, so it's really fun.
The team now practices a few miles away in a temporary gym at a temporary school. But memories of that November morning are permanent. It was about an hour after school started that the principal announced they needed to evacuate.
I remember going outside and just, like, the sun had disappeared.
It's 12:30 in the afternoon right now. It's this dark. It's this dark.
And you're just like, wow, what's happening?
It hadn't rained in Paradise since May, and now it was sleeting ash and bark. 50-mile-an-hour winds turned a small fire into a sharp-toothed monster that was devouring more than a football field a second. Stacy knew the two most important words at this point were get out.
And I don't even remember like the process of grabbing anything. I remember looking at a picture I have of me and my dad when I was in kindergarten and grabbing that, and that's basically it.
But Stacy's mom was stuck at the local hospital where she works in the marketing department.
I had to leave my mom at the hospital, which was really scary, sorry. She like told me she loved me. I'm sorry.
Lyra Potter's mom works at the hospital too. When she was finally able to hit the road, she hit gridlock and a tunnel of fire.
She told me, she said, there's trees burning on all sides of me, and there's fires like 2 feet away from my car, and there are cars burning.
It took nearly 3 hours for most people to drive just 11 miles downhill.
She said goodbye to me, and there's nothing that compares to hearing those words come from the most important person in your life.
Many families were not as lucky as Stacy and Lyra. Their moms are okay. Their homes, however, were among the 14,000 reduced to rubble. After everything that happened, you might imagine that volleyball would be the last thing on the girls' priority list. The biggest volleyball match in school history was scheduled just 2 days after this horrific fire. The girls were all safe, but the coach called a meeting to see if they even wanted to play.
And so I just thought, well, we'll just ask. What do the parents want to do? What do the kids want to do?
He just said, do you guys want to play the game? And straightforward, everyone said yes.
Relaxed, have fun, just
Even though it was the state semifinals, the decision took some by surprise, including those close to the team. And especially to those 85 miles away.
1, 2, 3, focus!
This is Forest Lake Christian School in Auburn, California.
We're a college preparatory school that is faith-based.
When it comes to their girls' volleyball program, excellence has become their tradition.
I think that we've all played together for a really long time, and we all enjoy playing together, which makes it easy to be successful.
Push it right now!
When they heard that Paradise was actually going to show up, they immediately began to prepare.
So we just made a list. We were like, what are these girls gonna need?
Keep in mind, these two teams had never met, but when the Paradise girls stepped into the Forest Lake gym that night, it was like stepping into a giant hug.
It was mind-blowing. I've never felt a love like that before from someone I've never known. I had never even met these girls.
And it wasn't just the players who constructed this comfort zone, it was the entire Forest Lake community.
Our entire library was filled with donations, and that didn't come from one person, that came from everybody.
I saw blankets and pillows and toothbrushes and whatever you need for daily life was donated at our front doorsteps.
And there was something else.
We had all the uniforms and shoes and knee pads and socks and everything all laid out on the bleachers, and I said, these are for you guys.
I realized that not only had they made us jerseys, but they actually had everybody's number correct. You would never think that that was possible to do in that short amount of time.
Competition turned into compassion. Years from now, no one will remember that Paradise did win a set or that Forest Lake won the match. What they'll remember is that the real winner on this night was love.
We wanted to give you girls something tangible that you can take, so we have over $300 each, gift cards and things for you guys so you can go out and get the things that you need and what you want and just make every day just a little bit better. So Coach, we're going to hand this out to you girls.
I think that they are some of the most wonderful people ever.
They should be the model for things of this kindness, generosity, love, compassion.
Kindness, helping the smoke to clear and letting in a ray of hope.
How are you today, sir?
In this corner of a South County strip mall,
Well, buddy, baseball opens next week.
you turn a corner and go back in time.
Need a little off the top.
The past is definitely present.
Take some hair off, Bobby. Cut it back.
At the Franview Plaza Barbershop.
This place is like Cheers. Everybody gets along well. We look forward to coming to work.
The same way the barbers have since the 1960s.
Well, you got any plans this summer? You going anywhere?
And no one looks forward to his workday more than John Marino.
It's getting your time of the year, huh? Fishing.
Yeah, fishing.
It's a labor of love.
At an age when most people prefer rocking chairs,
And I stayed there for a while.
the 85-year-old is still taking customers in his barber's chair.
You know what the old saying is? You look good, I look good. You can get a haircut anywhere you want to. I was just about 10 or 12 years old. I did it on a horse wagon. We had a horse. I'm old. But it's the camaraderie and the feeling of being with the men, and once in a while there's a story that the men like to tell. You moved out here before I did.
Marino has been cutting with scissors for 56 years.
And most of my people are as old as I am. A decent man. He's fun to work with. We like to tease him, and he can take it.
When he got out of the military, John followed in his grandfather's footsteps. But making a living hasn't always been easy.
In the 60s, the hair got long, remember?
Yeah.
And so my younger people were not coming to me anymore, and I didn't know how I was going to have an income. I got an old saying over there, if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not work anymore.
That's right.
So John took his shears to nursing homes.
Say about 12 o'clock tomorrow?
Which had an extra benefit.
Let's do it, okay? Thank you very much. To make you feel good. You look good.
And now, all these years later, when his longtime clients can't come into the shop, he brings the shop to them.
I've been so fortunate with my health and my age that I got to help other people.
Hi, John.
Hello there.
A couple of times a week, John makes house calls. Today, he's calling on 82-year-old Lawrence Washburn, who isn't able to get out much anymore. But he still insists on getting his hair cut from John.
I've been with him so many years, I wouldn't have anybody else.
It may seem like a small thing, but it makes a big difference when you can give someone a little dignity.
You can't beat that with a stick on Sunday.
Back at the shop, it looks like John Marino is here to stay.
So how much longer do you want to do this?
Oh, about 5 more years at least. God, you make my haircut look good.
Helping people look better so they can feel better.
If this was in Italy, I'd say arrivederci.
And I say, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
In this era or any other, John Marino is a cut above.
See ya. Have a good day. I love it.